Hey everyone, Mike on Monday coming at you. Couple of updates, what we've seen this week. I've seen corn that's just beginning to emerge and corn that's already knee high, so we've got a wide range of crop out there to manage and work with. So side dress has begun for that early planting material. We talked a little bit about that last week, as well as we're seeing some corn just trying to get out of the ground, a little uneven at times. Especially on the clays over here on the eastern part of Wisconsin. Same with the soybeans. We're seeing emergence come south of Plymouth. They got a little bit of rain, almost up to an inch in areas. Yeah, anything north of it looks like little to nothing. So we're seeing some unevenness in the emergence going on in those beans, but be patient. Stuff I've looked at is coming, provided that you planted it down into moisture. Have seen a couple of spots that ran out of moisture, and unfortunately that seed dried up and is now dead and a replant is required. Things that you may want to be thinking about as we're moving into side dress time is look at tissue testing or nitrate testing, depending on what your needs are and what your management plan was. But those are things that you want to have already set up so that the team can get out there and get those taken at an appropriate time for you. We're in a soybean field here right now, and what I wanted to show you is a quick difference between using a setup rate of a herbicide early versus not. This can be done in corn and beans. It doesn't matter which crop. We happen to be in a bean crop here. You can see that we've got beans in the unifoliate stage. My knee kind of marks the difference between untreated versus treated. Again, this is a setup rate. This happens to be dual to my right here that you're seeing. And there's a few weeds, but not really a whole lot to worry about versus our untreated area where we've got foxtail coming. We've got some some common ragweed, and I saw some lamb's quarters as well. Again, these aren't big, but one shot of rain, they're going to turn into a carpet out here. So if you're trying to do something in one shot, your challenge is the timing. Will Mother Nature work with me or not? You're basically on this untreated side, either going to take action and take out these weeds so they don't take yield away from you, or wait and allow the early yield to be stolen. But again, those are challenges that we run into when we don't use something in a setup side. On the other side here, we've got again a half rated dual on this particular side. So we got $8-9 an acre, and it went out with the fertilizer. So it basically got a free ride to the field on that side. And that $8 or so is going to work for me for a number of weeks. So now I have a wide window to put on that cleanup roundup shot that we can use for later season weeds that want to come along. The difference between the plans is that this allows the beans, where we have the setup rate, to get to a bigger state of maturity, larger state, so that the plant that I'm growing, the crop, becomes more of the weed control. Because we use a lot of crop as our weed control, but it's all about getting that plant to a big healthy size that it can actually join in the weed control program. On the untreated side, you're going to fight, you're going to battle a little bit more. You might have to make more trips in crop to get your weed control. This does set the stage for resistance if we're not careful of how we use our chemistry, versus I got something down early and I can come back and do some cleanup. Again, both have advantages and disadvantages. This side I tend to lean towards more so in recommending, just because it gives you a lot of options on how to manage that crop, as well as dealing with weed resistance, etc. out there. With that, looks like we got a little warmer temperatures coming along, at least along the lakeshore. We've been nice and cold. Maybe inland, they've been having a little more heat and your crop is farther along. I do get a little feedback from time to time that, Mike, you're behind what my crop is doing. It's like, and that could be so, and part of that has to do with most of my work is done along the lakeshore where, well, even in today, we've got a breeze off the lake again, keeping us a little bit cooler than inland, and our crops show that. But what I try to do is show you what's going on in at least my part of the world, and use that to your advantage as you manage your crop. With that, enjoy the warmer conditions this week. Be out there checking those fields for weeds. It might be time to get going with the sprayer. Think about that side dress. Think about tissue testing and nitrate testing. With that, we'll talk to you next week. Mike on Monday, signing off.